Cora challenged. Amos blinked at her in mock innocence.
I think it's great.
He clamped his lips tight, refusing to add anything else. After a tense moment, Cora gave up and gathered the rest of her clothes in her arms.
I'm going to go change and then head home. I'll make the arrangements to have this delivered to my house tomorrow, so it can be a proper surprise.
She sashayed over to me and gave me a quick motherly peck on the cheek.
And he's not wrong, you know. You really have become quite the talented artist, like I've been saying all along.
My cheeks heated hotter than my own fire abilities, and I grabbed the faded sheet I had stashed next to me to cover the sculpture until my faithful assistant collected her bounty tomorrow. Amos stayed close to me until he wrinkled his nose and pointed at the ceiling.
What in the world are you listening to?
A new instrumental Hawaiian melody played through the store speakers. Cora thought it would help set the mood. I waited for my grumpy friend to make a bitter complaint, but he listened to it for a moment before shrugging his shoulders.
Well, at least it's a change from holiday music played on unending repeat. Of course, that will start all over again after the celebration.
He grumbled something unintelligible under his breath. Taking a risk, I threw an arm around his shoulder and drew him in for a side hug. Aw, come on. I thought everybody was looking forward to the solstice thing. Amos stiffened under my touch.
Have we met?
He grouched. I let him go with a sigh. Well, I thought maybe you were someone different since you handled seeing Cora's masterpiece with such aplomb. With a snort, he gestured for me to head to the back exit of the store that led to the entrance of the break room.
You seem to have forgotten that I used to be a loving husband once.
A sad, silent pause followed his statement, but he cleared his throat and continued.
I know how to keep my nose out of trouble, especially with women like Cora.
As we made our way down the intentionally darkened hallway towards the bar where my bear shifter of a boyfriend waited for me, I couldn't help but wonder if Amos's heart would ever heal. Although the old guy would never admit to it, he had changed just as much as I had in a short amount of time. Maybe letting others into our lives and allowing ourselves to feel and experience more would be good for both of us as time marched on.
There's my girl,
Wyatt exclaimed from behind the wooden bar as Amos and I appeared in the doorway. Despite knowing he must be in his usual place behind the bar, I could barely spot my big, tall man behind all the crates piled high with colorful fruits. I might be here, but where are you? I teased. Amos, have we entered the notorious break room or a tropical food market?
I have no idea, but I better be able to have my usual.
He grunted in pure annoyance. Wyatt waved me over, his face beaming over the tops of pineapple fronds. It took a little bit of effort on my part not to run to him like a giddy girl, instead of throwing a little extra sway into my sachet. The handsome bartender wiped his hands with a towel and made his way around the bar to greet me. He captured me in his arms, gazing down at me with warm eyes.
How was your day, dear?
Much better, now that I get to spend time with you. Even as the words left my mouth, I tasted the truth of them. Amos gagged behind me.
I need at least 2 beers to help me wash away all that sickeningly sweet crap and put it on your tab.
With crotchety resignation, he sauntered off to join Rocky at the end of the bar. Wyatt's chest vibrated against me as he let out a rumbling chuckle.
I'll get nutty right on that.
He kissed the top of my head and then the tip of my nose before planting his lips on mine. The predictable cacophony of whistles and catcalls followed, and we broke away from each other all too soon.
I'm so glad you're here,
he admitted, flashing me the same bright smile that dazzled me every time.
How did Cora's monthly payment turn out?
Instead of the finished ice sculpture, the mental image of my assistant's body without a stitch of clothing on flashed in front of my eyes, throwing proverbial cold water on my heated mood. There weren't enough drinks in the entire place to erase it, but I could sure as well try. It was fine, but I could definitely use some refreshments. Wyatt raised an eyebrow, perhaps suspecting that I was keeping something from him. But instead of questioning me further, he made his way back to his usual position and fetched my custom beer stein made of ice that I had created for each of us humbugs.
Then you've come to the right